What's up, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? How's everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Let everybody roll in right quick. Latricia, what's going on, love? How are you? Right on time. I just finished cooking dinner. How was everybody's day? What everybody got going on? Let's see, I'm gonna shoot this out to a few more people right quick. Butterflies, what's up? Adele, what's going on? Free, what's good, Free? How's everybody doing? How's everybody day been? Man, everything's good. Everything's good. I got dinner already cooked. I'm sitting here chilling, ready to knock out a little quick little podcast for the folks, you know. Hey, that's what's up, man. No complaining. Like them folks tell me, I can complain, but what good it gonna do? Nobody don't want to hear you complain. Nick Rod, what's good? shooting this out. How was your day, Nick Rod? What's good? Well, how was your day? Hey, well, I'm glad your FYP brought you here. You about to hit one of the livest little podcasts that we got going. It's called the 100 podcast. And we got a little dope topic tonight. Real dope topic tonight. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Glad to hear that. With everything going on in the world, we need to just, have some peace. So this is the topic for the night, guys. Let's see. Therapy and its importance in a relationship. I'm just shooting this out to a few people. While we sit here and wait. So what everybody got for dinner tonight? Peachy, what's up? What's up, sis? What is everybody? What's good? I miss my Peachy. That's my sis, y'all. Sis, what you got going on, sis? Where you at? What you doing? Come on this screen. Let me see your face. Shit, man. What I need to go do is cut this hair. Oh, no. But, yeah, I was going to call and check on you tomorrow. But I got you. That's all right. Let them fingers go to work. I know you got to feel better. I need to send you a care package. You know what I do? I'm a good care package sender. Okay. As long as you went to the doctor to get checked out, you know what I'm saying? As long as they say you're good, just gotta get yourself back going. So look, hot toddy. Get you a hot toddy. Get you a hot toddy, man. That'll get it out real quick. Give it a few more minutes here. I might have a whole talking session here. Me in the gallery, me in the comment section. If nobody don't come up, which is all cool. Oh yeah, definitely. You can make it with Jack. Yeah, you can make it with Jack. Yeah. This is some Jack. Get a little lemon, some honey. Warm that thing up. Yeah. Some lemon. Yeah. That'll hit the spot. You don't need nothing but like that much of Jack. You don't need but a little bit of Jack, and like if you gotta cure it, let that be the hot water. Put the Jack in first. Put a little honey, stir it up. Put the water, let the hot water go in, and then squeeze your lemon. Stir it back up again. You in the game, coach. Let's see who else we got in the building. Let's see. Okay, it's coming. Don't worry. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get it started. Let me see. I just had a couple people text me. Let me shoot it to these couple people here, right quick. Let me shoot it here. All right. Just shooting this out to a couple people, guys, and we're gonna get this thing started here, man. We ain't gonna play with it. We're gonna get it started. Oh, it's my phone. My other phone. So I just upgraded my phone. And you know how I do, sis. I don't do them plans and all that stuff. I go and just buy what I want. So I got that new S26. Oh, crazy. This S26 is crazy work. Man, y'all know I'm Android for life, so. Yeah, that S26 is ignorant. Yeah. It's crazy though, you can hear that buzzing though. Zai, what's going on, cousin? What's good? Yeah. Yeah. We'll get here started in a second. Oh my gosh, let me get a towel so y'all don't hear my buzz. Yeah. Everybody got them something to sip on. Everybody chilling. Oh, if y'all hear that, that's outside, you know. That's my neighbor over there blowing the yard. Cause I'm saying like, what? Oh yeah, that's my neighbor blowing the yard. You know, that's the blower. Y'all got some good ass ears, I swear to God. I am Kia. What's good? I ain't seen you in a minute. Lord, that's what y'all are hearing. Boy, hey, all I can say is, boy, this thing got some good volume on it. Y'all can hear everything. Jesus, can y'all hear my heartbeat too?
Hey, Marlon.
Hey, what's up, kid? How you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh man, blessed and highly favored. No complaints.
That part. Likewise over here. Likewise over here.
Yes.
Tell the
Yeah.
wife I said hello to the wife if she's there. Hey, wife.
That she'll be here in just a second.
Okay, make sure you tell her I said hello.
I will. I will.
What's your topic tonight, Marlon?
So the topic for tonight is uh therapy and its importance in relationships.
Perfect topic, because we need
Yeah.
that good old therapy, boy.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Therapy plus God is a win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Hey, everybody in the chat, too. How y'all doing? Y'all come on in, share this live for my brother, Marlon. He doing great things over here.
Hey, I appreciate that. Shoot it. Make sure y'all, shoot it on out to them folks and everything. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, I'm just letting a few more people get in, and we'll get started.
Sounds good. No rush over here. No rush.
Yeah, yeah. You know how I do. I like to let people come in and grab them something to sip on, glass of wine, whatever you want, and it gonna get jumping here in just a second. So yeah, everybody's sitting here talking about they can. What's that buzzing sound? Like my yard people, the yard people across the street get blowing their yard. I'm like, man, y'all can hear that? That's crazy.
I know these microphones pick up everything.
Man, it pick up everything.
My dog be walking around. Somebody was like, "Who is that tap dancing?" I'm like, "Y'all can hear that?"
Shay, what's good, daughter? Man, Tasca, welcome in, welcome in. Oh man, we about to have everybody coming in. Grab that daily heart me and like, share, send it out to everybody. We got a good little topic tonight for everybody, man. Um, it's gonna be therapy and its importance in a relationship. You know, so. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get one more. We're gonna wait one more minute, and then we'll get something going here. Let a few more people roll in. Oh, I thought you was trying to come up. I was trying to accept it. Okay. See, I guess you wasn't trying to come up. Keita, what's up? What's good? Keita, how was your day? Shay, how was your day? All right, it's 7:26. Let's give everybody a couple more minutes here, and let's have some fun. Man, you under the weather too? That's what Peachy just said. She said she's a little under the weather. Everybody a little under the weather. I'm I'm doing pretty good. I don't have no complaints at this moment. Man, it must be something going around. It's probably this dang on weather. How this weather keep flip flopping. Everybody, everybody keep getting 1 minute is hot, one next minute is cold. So I guess that's probably having an effect on a lot of people, especially where you guys are at. So, ah, here's my wife on her way in. Yeah. Now just make sure y'all get y'all some vitamin C and stay hydrated.
Hot bath and baking soda does wonders. Oh my God, like does wonders.
You
So
said hot bath and baking soda?
hot bath with like either a one full box, small box of baking soda poured in it, or a half of a big box, and just soak for about 20 minutes. When I say it do wonders, I had COVID and flu, and somebody sent me that remedy, and
Really?
literally
Hey, Andy.
the next day I was like back almost at 100. I was at it blew my mind. So I
Really?
literally passed that on. Yes,
Man,
yes, it does wonders.
I hear baking soda. All I'm thinking about is I want to get a toothbrush and brush my teeth, not take it back off.
Nah, it extracts something from the body. This He's a holistic guy, and he sent me
Really?
that remedy, and I was like, what harm could it do? I mean, it's baking soda, and I tried it. When I say like literally the next day, I had COVID and flu. I couldn't go to work, nothing, just a
What?
mess. Yes, it works wonders. So y'all try it. It ain't gonna hurt you. I promise you're gonna be fine.
No doubt. I'm gonna have to look into that. Andy, how was your day? Let's see. We got 1 minute, guys, and we gonna jump right into the topic. We're gonna jump right into it. We ain't gonna be here for a long time. Just gonna be here for a good time. Messing with my son. Hey, baby.
Hi. They said, she's fine.
Uh-huh. Hey, baby. Can't bring you on camera, but hey. All right. Go get your life in order.
They said, just keep an eye on her the next couple of days, but they checked
Yep.
her throat, everything's
Everything's
fine.
good. Awesome.
Legacy, Cam can't pick you up right now.
Taking baking soda if a stomach aches helps quickly. Really? Okay. Keita said sounds like an imbalanced pH. And on that note,
You gonna be fine, Keita. I promise you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. If anything, it'll balance it. If anything.
oh man. Well, look, guys, welcome in everybody. 100 podcast. We got a good little topic for tonight. I just posted it down in the comments. Therapy and its importance in relationships. Um, you know, um, therapy and relationships and it is a thing of healing together, or sometimes therapy will make you want to admit the defeat, right? Um, a lot of times, a lot of couples will wait till the relationship is almost broken before they go and start to seek therapy, right? But the biggest highlight about therapy is not about fixing the problems. It's about learning how to communicate, and heal trauma and understand each other on a deeper level. Oh yeah, therapy. Period is what people need. Absolutely, see murder. Absolutely, it's needed. Um, um, and to your point, therapy is not just for broken relationships. I want to make sure I highlight that. You know, therapy is good for relationships that are going good, so that it can kind of help fill in some gaps. You know, open up some additional doors. Because what a lot of people bring into relationships is unhealed trauma from childhood, past relationships into the current partner's life. And it's not, and a lot of times it's very unintentional because they truly go into these relationships really liking somebody and whatnot, and end up not realizing that they never heal from certain things. And when they're ready to deal with this next person is like, what do you have going on? And I'm, trying to figure it out. Oh, absolutely, Simran. Yeah, it's good if you have therapy before you get in a new relationship because, you know, the other part about therapy is only as good as the two people that are being honest within going into therapy. I want to definitely highlight that because we can go to therapy all day long, but if we're not going to be honest, you know what I'm saying? It becomes ineffective at that particular point. Let's see. Keita said, I went to couples therapy once. My partner recommended them. Unbeknownst to me, they had prior relations with the therapist. That's a twist. Wasn't expecting that one. Yeah. Tony Farm, what's good, cousin? Kia, what you think about it?
I think therapy is absolutely needed prior to relationships. And you need to have it while you're in a relationship. Not like you said, it's good just to to keep that healthy balance, to have that sounding board, that unbiased person to kind of help you guys out in the relationship, and not waiting till it's at a place where you needing to save the relationship. I think
Absolutely.
if you have individual and couple, it's a healthy thing to do. It's a healthy thing.
It is. Yeah, I keep going back to the comment because I'm like, boy, that was a hell of a plot twist. I'm not
Right.
making light of it, kid. I'm just saying that was a hell of a plot twist. Like, oh, we going to this therapist, and then this therapist, y'all done had some man. Whoo!
And then that makes you like not really want to trust, therapy. Like
Right.
that's really messed up. And then
Yeah.
that's a conflict of interest and everything on that. Like, I'm sorry you had to go through that, baby girl. That
Man, yeah. That's
yeah,
that's 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 trauma in itself. Hey, you go start going to therapist, you get triggered because
that
do
part,
you
right.
make sure I don't know you? Do you know this person? Do you show? Like, man, couples therapy. With couples therapy, it teaches. The goal of couples therapy rather is to teach communication skills that most of us didn't have growing up. Especially with us. All us probably up and raised up in a different era. I don't know the age of everybody and whatnot. Well, I mean, I know Keita's age, I know Peach's age, Kia, I know where you're at, but other people that may be watching or in the comments and whatnot, growing up, that wasn't something that we was always told to do. It was more so get over it and keep it pushing. That's what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, the the other side of it is that a lot of partners fear therapy because it will expose their actual true behavior. Because one thing that you're not going to be able to fool is a therapist. A therapist will be able to say certain things to they'll make that other person come out. They're going to make the other person come out, you know, with the intention, of course, trying to help someone, right? Let's see. Exactly. Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what we was told. Suck it up, Buttercup, and keep it pushing. Therapy. What? It was like it was shunned upon. Like don't. It was like it was a bad word. You know what I'm saying? Now at this big age and having self accountability, I encourage it, man, because I still got a therapist. Hadn't talked to her in forever, but you know, I still have one. So if I need to contact just to kind of decipher through some things, I will. Yeah. Oh, yes. For men, it was definitely a taboo. It was definitely a taboo. I encourage my sons like, if you got a therapy, if you need to talk to your therapist, man, talk to him. Because I wasn't, and nothing against my parents, but I was never afforded the knowledge to go and talk to a therapist. Now that I know better, when you know better, you do better. I tell my kids, not just my boys, but I tell all the kids, go talk to a therapist. I'm not a therapist. As my shirt say, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who's been through some things. You know what I'm saying? So that's my way of encouraging people. Boom, go and talk to a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Therapy can either save a relationship or it can reveal it shouldn't continue. Yeah. Okay. My son gave me the thumbs up that the food was on point as he go gets a second plate. Um, Therapy can either save a relationship or reveal it shouldn't continue. You know, Therapy is gonna get you to the core. What you got, kid?
I think that's why subconsciously people avoid therapy because it's going to require them to see things. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. And if you really love
Mm,
yourself, it's going to force you to deal with the issue. Or you will learn that you may not love yourself as much as you think because you continue to keep
ooh,
being in those situations or attracting those same people because you're refusing to do the healing. And that's a hard pill to
mm.
swallow sometimes.
It
You
is.
know, to
I
look at
agree.
self, it's very hard sometimes to look at self and hold self accountable. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That man, that mirror. Yeah. Let's see. Keita said, "I think more people avoid therapy due to cost versus being afraid." I hear that, Keita, but I'm actually going to disagree on that one. And the
Me
only
too,
reason I'm
Marilyn. Me
disagreeing,
too. I'm gonna disagree
I'm
too.
gonna disagree simply because, especially like with our insurance, and I say our because Keita and I, we work for the same company. Our insurance covers it. So, I think there's more people who have insurance. I think people wholeheartedly avoid it for that accountability piece because my insurance covers that. Small out of pocket costs. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even with the out of cost, someone, let's say like someone that's not in network, I can still put in for reimbursement to at least get half of the money back. Let's say a session is $120. I can put in for reimbursement and get half of that back. That's the only reason why I say I don't think it's cost. I think people are just afraid to face themselves. In my opinion.
And with the marketplace being like it is, most companies give you three first consultations with employee self services. You get
Hmm.
free counseling. Your first three sessions is free. You just have to put in the work to seek the counsel. I think it's more so people is comfortable in their toxicity. And again, it's back to doing the work. If I'm
Yeah.
comfortable, then I'm not going to fix what I feel ain't broken. And that's a cliche that we carry. If it's not
Hmm.
broken, let's not fix it. And some people don't really, want to accept that they have some broken parts of themselves. So
Yeah.
it's back to the accountability for me too. So I think I
Yeah.
disagree with that as well.
Let's see. Kidda said newer generations are more about therapy than ever before. It's hard to find a therapist you connect with. Also, you know what? I will agree. I definitely agree with that. But it sometimes it takes going through. For some people, you're gonna have to go through two or a couple of different ones. Nikki, what's going on? You're gonna have to go through two or three therapists to find that one that you really connect with. Um, and what I found with therapists, what I enjoyed about my therapist was she held me accountable. You know, um, I don't want a therapist that's going to agree with everything I say because you're just trying to get the money. I don't want you to agree. I want you to call me out on my shit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know. Um, so yeah, that's a great perspective on that. Let's see. Right, they are comfortable. C. Murder says right. They are comfortable. That's why crisis arise to people, push people to mental health. Yeah. So yeah. If more people had someone to tell them, hey, maybe you should go talk to a therapist, I think that will help a lot of people, deal with a lot of the issues that they have. So that when you get ready to have, a relationship that you want to blossom, you can truly walk in and say, hey, you know what? I did the work. You know what I'm saying? I did the work. I'm good. I'm still going through it, but I'm at a point now where I can accept somebody else, and tell them the truth. So yeah. The other part about therapy is one partner, wanting therapy while the other refuses to show up for therapy. That's where there's a gap in the emotional maturity. Because if you are emotionally mature, you're going to say, you know what? Even though I may not think that I need it, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and support. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mental health services are necessary, especially when you're in certain jobs. Yes. It's very important. But here's the best part about it, right? Healthy couples, when you're in a healthy relationship, I'm not just going to say healthy couples, healthy relationships, most times those people will go to therapy, before a problem will escalate. But also the other part of healthy couples is they actually communicate with each other that there is something that is going on. And it's like, yeah, something is going on. Instead of just running straight for the hills, they're like, yo, something is going on. Let's talk about it. Let's try to figure out a resolution. A lot of times that happens where, if the two couples can't come to a happy medium about something else, then they may say, you know what? We're not getting anywhere. It's being aware. Let's go and talk to somebody to make sense of this. Hey, appreciate the GOAT, man.
On the sitcom My Wife and Kids, and I know it's television, but it was something that they had in place that they displayed was when they had a disagreement, they had a counselor on standby that they will call if they couldn't come to an agreement. She'll be like, I'm calling Dr. So and so, and they will go and they will pay for the session to be able
Yeah.
to get some kind of coping skills to be able to come back together and solve the issue of the problem. So I like that. I think that is something, even though it's on television, is something that can be applied in a relationship. So I think, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. And you're right. I like that part about the show. That was really, really good that they did that and especially, in people that look like us. That was, again, not something that, was always put out there. I'm only speaking from someone that looks like me. And to have a television show where that was put out there was huge. And it kind of gave us the okay. You know what I'm saying? You see, Smyrna said, right, a light bulb moment when it's connected. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Butterflies, welcome back in. Let's see. So here's a couple little talking points. Why do you guys think therapy had a bad reputation? I know we kind of danced around it for a second. It was taboo for us to go and see a therapist. What else?
I think it was a stigma of that you may have a problem, and you didn't want to be seen as having a problem or issue or not
Hmm.
whole, and the
Yeah,
shame of the therapy, the shame of having the therapy back, it just wasn't a good look back in the day, and I'm
yeah,
so thankful to the young people for making it, what it is today, that
yeah.
that us, older people are going back and doing the work. So I appreciate them for their contributions to society. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's see. Keita said cost. C Murder says no one wants their business out there. Free said like only crazy people do therapy. Yeah, that's the bad reputation it had. You know, a lot of people seeing therapy as a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you weak. You got to go to therapy. You can't figure it out. No, yeah, I need to go to therapy. I can't figure it out. You're right. Say what you want to say. Um, speak for yourself, you know. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, we are all a little touched. um, yeah, definitely. You know the cultural and generational stigmas that was behind it. Little Mo, what's going on? Or people look at therapy as a bad reputation from, we should be able to fix our own problems. Nah, that's not always the case. You know. Um, so point number 2, what therapy actually does. You know, we talk about therapy and all of these different things, but let's really look at what does therapy actually do. Yeah, see, Murder, you're correct. Admitting that we don't know everything, we need help. Exactly. Um, what therapy actually does is it creates a neutral space for honest communications where sometimes it's hard to have that honest communication when you don't know how to really discuss certain things. And I get it. You know, it's hard to discuss certain things that maybe infiltrated into a relationship. And that's where therapy will come into play. Therapists will help you have those tough conversations and give you the tools you'll need to be able to successfully have those conversations at later points when the therapist is not around. You know? Um, what you got? You about to say something, Kim?
Yeah, I think it also gives you a space to process your
Mm,
thoughts and emotions in a safe space to where you
yeah.
can feel vulnerable enough to share what you're feeling and going through. So I think it
Hmm.
provides that. It also, with a good therapist, provides you with perspective outside of your own perspective
Yeah.
and being able to see it from a different lens. So and that's always good to have that so that you can make, a better decision and better choices.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Um, let's see. Simona says exactly neutral space, bipartisan correction with the partner. That part, bipartisan correction. That's huge. Keita said we weren't really taught certain things by our parents, so therapists definitely help fill the gaps. Absolutely. That's that part about generations. You know what I'm saying? Little Mo says therapy gives you space to be yourself without being judged. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's you're here now, which is the biggest part, and then now you're in this space where you can actually voice some things, have somebody there who is trained to help break down and help the other person understand what you're trying to say. Um, yeah, absolutely. Um, the other part that what therapy does is it helps can help couples identify patterns of conflict. That's something that most people don't realize, that there are patterns within conflicts. Thank you for the follow me. Thank you for the heart me. Yeah, there are patterns. What therapy is going to do is, again, like I was talking about, like the tools, it's going to teach us things like active listening, because a lot of times we think that we're actively listening, but we're not. We're too busy waiting to listen to respond. You know what I mean? It gives us other tools like um, what's the word I'm looking? Emotional regulation, right? Being able to regulate how our emotions are, managing stress. Absolutely. Conflict resolution. This is what therapy is going to teach you. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that you can have that healthy relationship, that thriving relationship. It's going to teach you how to communicate. One of the things that, like I said earlier, I haven't talked to my therapist in forever. My wife haven't talked to hers. But what the tools that we took from our therapy, we apply it within there to where people always laugh and they say, "Y'all guys never had an argument." No, we don't have arguments. We sit down and actually have conversations and we talk about things. We understand that there are going to be some things that my spouse is going to say that I may not like. Doesn't mean I need to get all frazzled. It's a conversation, and vice versa. Keita says, or verbalizing emotions, the emotional will. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Number 3, individual therapy versus couples therapy. Sometimes the relationship you in isn't the problem. It's the individual trauma that is the problem that came into the relationship. Like, for example, somebody could have been dealing with an abandonment wounds, or trust issues, or different type of attachment styles, an emotional shutdown. Those are things that are individually based, per the person that they bring into it. I think that individual therapy is very good. I don't think everyone should just jump straight in my opinion. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who's been through some things. I think that individuals should have individual therapy, and then you have and those individuals have couples therapy. I think so. Keita asks, do you feel couples need couples therapy? I feel they need both. Couples therapy helps you learn how to deal with each other as a couple. Individual therapy really helps you understand yourself on a personal level. Because operating as a couple, you're operating as a couple. But as an individual, if you don't know how to operate as an individual, you're not going to be able to necessarily operate completely in the capacity that you need for a couple's relationship. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, because, you got to figure out a lot about self before you can go in and put yourself in with both. Keita says, "Psych, some connections aren't worth it." And you know what? That very well might be true. Because once you get your own individual therapy, you might highlight some things either about yourself or the other person. You go, you know what? I know this person here is this. You know what? I realize now that's not something I want to deal with. And you might keep it pushing. So that's why both can definitely be beneficial. Yes. Got you. Go ahead, Kia.
Yeah, I was just piggybacking off of you. Individualized counseling will help you be able to weed out too a lot of BS that you run into because you know what style you're operating from and what style do not work from you, and you will be able to identify those toxic traits in others so that you don't even have to waste your time going through the motions or dealing with those types of people. You'll be able to weed those out with individual counseling. And then by you being a healthy person, you're pretty much not going to deal with someone who is not in a healthy space themselves, because you've worked extremely hard to become the level of health at which you are at. So
Yeah.
I think individualized counseling is needed for everyone. And then when you get with someone, That should be where I stand today. I think that might be a requirement. I might have to put that on my standards list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a requirement. I require that you go to therapy or have some type of therapy. Little Mo says it also gives you comfort, your comfort zone to be able to discuss things that has been unable to talk with to others. Absolutely. Keita says so. Personal therapy is so much greater than couples therapy. Yeah, yeah, because you got to understand before you can operate as a two person unit, you got to know how to operate as an individual first. Um, C. Murder said that's why I said that in the beginning of the conversation. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, very good points. Very good points, guys. And the other part about um, when a relationship needs number 4 is when a relationship needs therapy, right? There's signs. The signs include certain things like when you start having the same argument over and over. The same argument is repeatedly happening. When the person that you communicate with starts to disrespect you within that communication. When you start feeling the emotional distance from a person, as well as when one or more, or both partners start to feel unheard. Let's see. Little Mo said, first get to know yourself before trying to get to know someone else. Absolutely. Listen, hearing your partner speak in therapy session can bring such clarity. I definitely agree with that as well. Especially in that session, and you get to you get to hear a person be vulnerable that you probably never heard be vulnerable before. And it's not that they didn't love you enough to do that. They didn't. There's a level of comfort that wasn't there because, when we are all in relationships, we try not to disappoint the person that we with. And that for that person, they can feel like, well, I'm going to let them down if I tell them this. But in that safe space and knowing that you both went there, that was the most opportune time to be able to share something that was probably hard, Yeah, definitely. Whew, yeah. Yes, Keita, you're forced to listen while the therapist is actively asking discovery questions. They're connecting and discovering. Seymour said it also helps you recognize your triggers and recognize red flags, things you don't want your relationship to basically, I guess, in the next part she probably gonna put is to suffer from or go through. Yeah, definitely. Because we all know there are certain red flags we tend to ignore, right? We ignore a lot of things because we want certain things and we don't know how to necessarily get those things back. Number 5. When this is a real one. When therapy reveals the relationship should end. Because, again, like I was saying earlier, most people think if you go to therapy, that therapy is going to save the relationship. No, not always true. Therapy doesn't always save the relationship. Sometimes it reveals incompatible values, unresolved resentment, emotional immaturity. Keita, you got a question? What you got? You waving? What we got going on? Free said, right. I can show you that you don't align. The same stuff keeps happening. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, she said, no, I was saying by the relationship. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Those incompatible values, yeah, therapy is going to let you know because, again, to that part of talking about the red flags, we sometimes will end up dealing with those same little red flags, but realistically, we're incompatible because this ain't something you want to deal with. Um, the resentment. Unresolved resentment can be something that has transpired within that relationship for years and years, and that person resented something you did, never spoke about it. Shame on them, shame on, the whole thing. And that resentment just build up to a point where you start realizing this person was getting so much distance from you. They didn't want to talk, they shut down, and you're sitting there not understanding why. Yeah, absolutely. You can't change people. If you think you can change somebody for a relationship, keep living life. You can't change nobody. Change only happens if you want to change. Let's see. Keita said, "Do we truly feel that infidelity can be healed through therapy?" You know what? I believe that it can. Because I believe that it's a choice. No one is perfect. No one is going to just be absolutely perfect, right? We all are here just doing the best that we can do. Yeah, we can make some stupid choices, but that's where accountability comes into play. There's where, forgiveness comes into play. This is where a choice comes into place from both ends, uh, and that's where I was going for. Yeah, sometimes the therapy doesn't save the relationship. It's the people that's in it. It's their choices of, saving the relationship. I think that's one of the things when infidelity happens in a relationship and the person that did the act of the infidelity comes back and holds it all accountable on themselves and don't try to put a blame. Well, you didn't give me this or you didn't do this and that's why I did this. But when the person said, you know what, I did this, I messed up. It was me being selfish. I did something stupid. I apologize. Forgive me. I really want to work through this. That's a whole different level of accountability, as opposed to someone saying, well, you was holding out on me and you didn't want to do this and I kept asking you and this, that, and that. That still doesn't give you an excuse. Just because somebody don't want to do that does not give you a hall pass and an excuse to go and, cheat. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, the infidelity piece, therapy could assist, but I think that's deeper with a moral compass and moral issue with the
Mm-hmm.
individual. Therapy
Yeah.
can definitely give them some tools and some things to use to be able to communicate what they're feeling, but
Yeah.
they have to feel that infidelity is wrong. Especially if they've been seeing it, if they grew up with it. That's been a standard practice in their home as a kid. They saw dad or mom, and it was accepted. Um, so that's kind of tricky in a sense. I do believe therapy can assist with that though. If that
Mm-hmm.
person is serious about putting in the work to change.
Yeah.
One time of forgiving, two times I think you should bail up out of that thing. Do
Oh yeah.
not be a person that constantly want to work with someone who is a habitual cheater, on a pretense of I should stick in there or I should be the ride or die. Please don't be that person. Um,
Yeah.
it's okay to give them a second chance, but and that's tricky in itself. I would
Mm-hmm.
say one and gone, but God is of second chances, so we have to be of
Right.
second chances too. But
Yeah.
after that, if it's habitual, get up out that thing. It's toxic, and that person
Mm-hmm.
needs some God and therapy. As I said at the beginning, God plus therapy. Those
Absolutely.
are things needed.
Absolutely. Let's see. Free said, we are all different though. There are some things people can work through that others can't. Absolutely. And you got to know yourself. Absolutely. Because, you know, that is so individual to understand what you can and cannot deal with. And sometimes therapy can help you figure out some things because it can be a quick thing. Up, man. Oh, you did it. I'm gone. And it may be that one time where that person says, man, I don't even know why I did it or whatever. Sometimes you got to hear it and feel it, make a decision. C. Murder says, well, if the person isn't a spouse, you can leave that relationship and allow space to heal. Yeah. Yeah. Cheetah said, I'm going to cheat back before she go to therapy and get my lick back. I ain't dealing with you. She got to go get her lick back. Lord Jesus. So let's talk. So my next little section here, right? I'm going to talk about therapy from a male perspective as well as a female perspective. Y'all know I'm never going to do anything on one side. So, kind of like we said in the beginning, us as men, we avoid therapy. We used to avoid therapy because we were taught to handle problems alone. You know what I'm saying? Chocolate, welcome in. Another male perspective is many men struggle with the emotional language of therapy. Oh, I was looking for you, Gwen. Oh my God. Okay. I was wondering what happened because I was like, I went to go invite you and I'm like, where's Gwen? Okay. Now we know. Lil Mo, don't be co-signing that time I get your lick back. Don't be co-signing with that. Therapy can help men understand how their actions affect their partners emotionally. Yeah. I'm telling you, like when I went to therapy, it really helped me be able to, understand more about myself so that I knew how to deal with my partner. Even though that relationship didn't work, I still gained a lot from that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, open them up. Absolutely. And one of the biggest things from a male perspective is pride. And our pride can prevent growth. I think that's probably one of the biggest things is, us as men, we are prideful, very, very prideful. We're prideful and we're proud, Yes, Free, I do say, go get some growth. Now, here's the question. Is refusing therapy a sign of strength or emotional avoidance?
Emotional avoidance, I'm gonna vote for.
Okay.
Yeah, I think especially with men, I think women are more apt, and not to, because I'm a woman to say that, but just on how we are nurturers and we are more verbal. I think
Mm-hmm.
in most cases we are more apt to go to therapy and do therapy than men are. It's almost like pulling teeth to get some men to go. Some men will go. It just depends on where you're at. I think men are more apt to go if their marriage is on the line.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you think men are more prone when it's like when the pressure is pressuring?
Absolutely. When they get into a place where they're getting ready to lose something, they become
Mm-hmm.
more open to going to counseling. Prior to that, it may be a little bit more difficult to get them to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if it's getting to a place where they're getting ready to lose something, then they'll break down and go. That's just my opinion. I could be, you
No,
know,
as a man, I'm going to agree with you on that one, Kia. Yeah, well, how I used to be, right? How I used to be it was like, oh man, I'm about to lose this and this, that, and the other. Um, I think that that's when that point would have came. But as a healed man, I'm not like that anymore. So, Peachy, I thought you wasn't feeling good, sis. Was you okay?
Hey, Peachy.
I think she just up to kind of be here for a second. Um, let's see. C. Murder said, "Pride hinders all type of blessings. That God doesn't want us to have a proud heart." Um, Chocolate said, "Emotional avoidance is harder to self-reflect than it is to deflect." Yes. Um, Pressure does burst pipes. Um, and then Marlon, you're willing to put in the work a lot of men aren't. Yeah. Pride for men is, Lil Mo said, pride for men is too much to say they're wrong. Yeah, I think we're in a season now of men who are accountable and can say when they're wrong. I really believe that we're in a season in that. Juggernaut, welcome in. Taurus and Bloom, welcome in. I think that's where we're at. And I think men are feeling more comfortable. And to your point here, the younger generation nowadays, when they talk about therapy, trickle down to us, us older folks, and really now we feel comfortable, you know. We feel comfortable now having certain those hard conversations, you know. So Chocolate, you missed it. Kia was saying earlier where it's really the newer generation that opened up the door for this newer generation where they say, I need some therapy, I need to go talk to somebody, this, and this, that made it really prevalent for, you know, this. And you see, Free says, I don't know how true this is. How true what is? What's up, Peachy? See, Murder says a little more intellectual and accepting of a hand up to live to live on the next level. Yeah, yeah. I as a man, and I see the men that in my circle, the men that I'm surrounded by, that are accepting. Um, I think that they are more accepting of it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, yeah, my circle. My circle, and I think there's a lot of men in a lot of circles who, you know, um, have those conversations amongst that circle of saying, hey man, of holding each other accountable, of saying, hey man, look, I feel what you're saying. I think you might need to go talk to somebody about that. You know what I'm saying? I think more men these days, and I'm only speaking for again men that I haven't come encounter with, whether the men are in my circle or just me having general conversations while sitting at the bar. Because believe it or not, I actually have conversations where meeting complete strangers, and I have cats that be like, "Yeah, man, I had to go and get some therapy because I had some things going on that I didn't understand." And it made me feel good also to see that men can have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So I get that's again I gotta give. I'm a man, so I want to give some credit to the men out here and say that they are seeking to have you know more help of understanding.
I'm a piggyback off you, and I'm gonna also shout out to the men that are in those men circles that hold each other accountable. I know a few podcasters that speak of being accountable. I know I hear David Banner, people, celebrities like that that speak of holding other men accountable. So, and just shout out to the brothers that's doing the work and actually going to therapy and trying to heal and want to get better. I am very, very keen and keeping my eye to the society to see what this new level of healing is going to do for us as a
Hmm.
community in the next couple of years. Just to see the results of it, being that it is now being more acceptable in the Black community. We're speaking more about it in our community out loud, so than we ever done before. So I'm very intrigued to see what the outcome is going to bring as early as 2027. Like what's
Hmm.
going to happen? What is our culture going to look like in the next 2-3 years?
Right, right. Let's see. I gotta miss a couple of comments here. Glenn said, talk to some of those other barbershop therapists. Look, barbershop be having some good stuff going on, especially if you're in the right barbershop. Cause my dudes that's in my barbershop are all God fearing men that keep positive things. So yeah. Um, Juggernaut said, I'm not doing anything with a Nyan factor. Um, Chuck said, oh yeah, my barbershop is the truth. Yeah. So um so that was the men's perspective. Let's talk about the female's perspective. And feel free to correct me if you don't agree. Many women seek therapy sooner because they are more emotionally expressive. Would you guys agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Some women feel that they are carrying the emotional weight of the relationship.
I think women, we do naturally because we are nurturers in most. I must not all. Let me be clear because I don't want anyone to be upset or feel like I'm putting them in the box. But most women tend to do that because we are nurturers by nature. Um, and we do
Hmm.
carry the emotional weight because we are the emotional regulator of the family. When the kids are feeling low, if you're a good parent, you're gonna do something to uplift the kids. If the husband is feeling down, you're gonna try to do something to comfort the husband. If your
Right.
mom or parent is having an issue, that's just what we do. So we do that, and sometimes it becomes difficult to be able to have that self time for yourself and not get so weighted down with the roles and titles that we carry, just being women.
I'm with you. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. A couple other comments. C. Murder said, I hope our men get their leadership helmets on and stay ready. Absolutely. Definitely nurturing. Chocolate says, some of us are, but other of us, others of us repress a lot of past traumas in order to function. Mm, yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree that.
I
Yeah,
agree with that too,
yeah, I
Chocolate.
agree with that. Yeah, and that's a very good point to highlight. Um, because that is what happens. A lot from dealing with that trauma in the past. Limo said yes because our feelings is more important, and we can we carry most of that on our shoulders. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I know you had to go to the bottom of the ocean on that one. Nurturers are open to whoever is in our circle. God has made us in that way. Absolutely. Yep. Um, I think another female perspective is when it comes down to therapy, therapy can help validate feelings, but it also will challenge those unhealthy expectations. I laugh at that because that's that. Me and Free got this thing about expectations. But therapy can help, can validate feelings, but it can also challenge the unhealthy expectations that you may have.
I agree.
Um,
I agree with that. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah. Coming from a place of growing and learning, um, and just being honest and real. And again, no slight on my parents, but some of the things that I saw, and even some of the things that maybe some of the aunties might have, shared was a bit toxic. And
Hmm.
um, when you look back, you be like, okay, I kind of see the remnants of that. And it sometimes it takes therapy for you to be able to recognize that what mom, auntie, cousin may have taught you was a toxic trait, and you've been holding on to
Hmm.
that, and that's been causing an issue, and that is that challenging factor that you have to go against what you have seen and been developed into all your life to be able to start doing the work to change that habit or that trait or that thought process. So yeah, I agree
Hmm.
with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Chocolate says therapy also needs to be a part of self care. Hmm. If your mind is not in a good place, your life cannot be in a good place. Free says, I always say that say the trauma may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal. Come on. They go Free. Killing
I love
it.
that. I love that.
Boy, that right there.
I love that.
I love that right there. The trauma may not be your fault, but it's still your responsibility to heal. Woo!
That's deep right there. That's deep.
Ah, mm. That's where you got to stop pointing the finger. That's where you got to stop pointing the finger and say, you know what? I didn't cause this, but you know what? I understand that this was passed down from generation to generation, but you know what? I need to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that right there, Free. Yeah, that one there was good. You see, Little Mo says, I also think we also need to put God first and go to Him with our problems, not just therapists. Absolutely, that's what one of the first things that Kia said. Therapy is great, but for those that are definitely believers, you got to put God there. You got to put God in it. We're never gonna, for me and mine, we're never gonna leave God out of it. C. Murder says therapy shows you not to have expectations that are not what that person is about to communicate. Goes deep for me. Yes, this is a good one. Um, yes, yeah, that was a mic dropper. Be trying to get her to come on up here. Be over here dropping it in that chat. Chaka said, in my home or any home, I lay God must be there or I'm not staying. Absolutely. That's, we got to say it like that. Here's a question. Do some partners want therapy to fix their partner, but not themselves?
It started out like that though, Marlon. Though I think I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Uh, it started out like you need therapy, bro.
Yeah.
And then it went to oh my goodness, it's me.
It's
But not
me.
it's me, but it's some things I need to fix with me though.
Yeah.
And so then it was
Yeah.
like, okay, put your boots on, lace them up, let's go to work.
Let's go to work.
Yeah, and then yeah, it was that. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I can
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa, what's going on, Lisa? I hadn't seen Lisa in a minute. What's good? What's good? Now I understand. I understand. Um, Keita says, Charlie's not gonna type it for the birds. Yeah, I know you do. Keita says, don't let me get on my spiritual talk. That believe think non-believers are crazy. Those who believe that non-believers are crazy. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's that. I got that as a topic. Don't worry. We gonna get into how people be. That's one of my topics I got for maybe next week sometime. But how people use religion as a tool to try to control relationships. But we're not gonna get into that right now. We not yet. But it's coming. Absolutely, definitely turn the mirror. Kenya, what's going on? Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get into that topic. So some Saraya, what's going on? Kenya, what's good? Here's some questions. If your partner asks for therapy, does that mean the relationship is already failing? What do you guys think? If your partner asks for therapy, does it mean that the relationship is already failing? No, I agree. I don't think that it means that it's failing. It means that, hey, we've gotten to a point where there's a disconnect, and I really want to understand the disconnect. Yes, yeah, like Kenya said, no, it means the relationship is maturing or healing. Yeah, absolutely. The relationship is maturing, is healing, and we've just become to a part where, we need to get some more clarity of where we're at right now. You feel me? So, is refusing therapy a red flag? Oh yeah, it's a red flag. You got it. You know, I don't know if it's not necessary. I think I'm kind of on the fence on whether it's a red flag or not. I think refusing therapy, of course, is a choice, but I would like to dig into more of why my partner is refusing therapy. You know what I'm saying? Why are you refusing the therapy? Is it I'm refusing the therapy because of something that might have happened in the past that, I need to get a better grasp on when it comes down to a therapist? Um, is it, oh, I don't want to go to therapy now because you done did all this dirt to me and now you want to go to therapy to go try and fix it when you just was constantly out there cheating. Now you want to go to therapy. Nah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's a case by case type of situation.
I get that. I think but refusing to go is, to me, and for me, that's why I had to put in the chat, for me. It's like
Yeah.
refusing to grow. If you
Hmm.
can't go and let's work through this, because we clearly is having a problem. And when you said being able to identify that we need therapy is maturity, absolutely. Because just to know that, hey, it's a problem and we need to seek outside help, that's a healthy choice and thought in itself. So yeah, if you don't want to go to therapy, you don't want to solve the problem. You want to
Hmm.
continue in your comfortability, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy. Yeah.
And I respect that. I
And
get
that's
that.
for me. That's just for me.
Yeah.
Everybody is there. They have their own compass, but
Right.
we won't,
Absolutely.
we won't solve the problem if we're not going to seek some help and solution.
Right. No, and I definitely agree with that. I think it's one of those things of where things are at, you know, and what has transpired to now deem it as that's a red flag, and because the red flag could be for the other person that the person that's let's say that person is a healed person and they're looking at this person that's doing some things that an unhealed person does. It's like, yeah, now you want to go to therapy because went out here and did all this here with all these folks, and now you want to, nah, player, I'm good. Let's see. Chocolate said, absolutely. The deep dive takes a lot of work and commitment. Free says, not necessarily. Kenya says, there are times when you need unbiased party to help see the other side. Chocolate, the reluctant partner may be afraid of what may come out of therapy. Mm-hmm. That so Chocolate and Kenya, we highlighted that earlier part. So yeah. And Free says, well, if they shut down or deny obvious issues, then it's a red flag. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cultural beliefs. Okay. We hadn't touched on that part of it. Taurus and Bloom, welcome back. There are things where people in certain cultures where therapy it does not transpire. Little Mo said, yes, it's a red flag, not wanting to go why something else might come out besides what we're going for. And so it's funny you say that, Little Mo. I think my thought when you go into therapy is shouldn't be going in for one individual thing. I think it's going into therapy with your heart and mind wide open on a lot of different, with everything on the table, because I think a lot of things that we end up going to therapy for is all connected. I believe everything is connected, and it all ends up being, it may be 4 or 5 different things that this one thing that you're going to therapy for was actually something that has been going on with 2, 3 other things. I think it's a point of time when you go out and you put everything out there and see how and let the cards lay where they lay. So like I said, my ex-husband and I went to therapy 6 times. Each time they hit a point, he stopped going. Yeah, it's for some people when they start hitting those, those points, it's like, man, that's where that accountability comes into play. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't want to be accountable. Not true, because they will shut down and stop going. Yeah, they will, because of those triggers. like Kier said, you get triggered by certain things, and it's like, man, you rather run away from it than to deal with it. That's a person who is not in an emotional place, to even succumb to being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yeah, they running from growth and healing at that point.
Yeah.
Because it's too difficult for them to deal with. They've been suppressing it for so long that that comfortable space, I'd rather just not deal with it because it's more comfortable to just let it stay dead, let it stay dormant, not dead, but dormant, because it's going to rise up in somewhere. It's going to show in some aspects of that person's life, whether it's work, space, children, with the children, the spouse, relationships. It's going to rear its head. And the more it goes unhealed, the worse it's going to rear. So it's only dormant. It never goes away. Yeah, till you work on it.
Absolutely. Let's see. So like I said, we've been divorced for more than 10 years, and he still haven't dealt with his issues. Well, that's somebody who's running with avoidance. Sean says, how do you deal with OCD? I think OCD is just, if someone's OCD, I have to understand what level of OCD. I think we all have a little bit of OCD in us. It just depends on what it is. I want certain things, like, my OCD needs kicked in when I see dishes in the sink. I need to make sure the kitchen clean before I go to bed. So I don't know.
Having some coping tools to deal with that again back in therapy. OCD is a personality disorder, I do believe. I'm not sure, but I believe it's a personality disorder. So you're gonna have to have some type of coping mechanisms and skills again back to therapy. It will be able to help you and the person that have it, and help you be able to deal with the person that have it.
Yeah. You see, Little Mo said, to me, it just shows they're not ready to be in a relationship and just go and ruin another woman's heart, as well as another man's heart.
Yep. Or a man. I was gonna say
Or a
man.
man. Yeah, it's men out, it's women out here who ruin men too. So it's not just all the all men and all women. It's a balance of both. You know, Kenya said, I think couples therapy works best when each person has gone to therapy for themselves and deal with their triggers and issues. Kenya, you're right on point because we actually talked about that before you came in, about whether to do individual therapy versus um, couples therapy. Keita had asked that question, and I think we all came to a consensus that individual therapy is more important than just as important. I'm not gonna say more, but just as important as couples therapy. So I can say it depends on the level of OCD that some men are severe. Figure out yourself because everyone is different. Yeah, there's definitely levels to OCD. Lil Mo says, I have OCD really bad, but my husband understands me and appreciates me. Next level. What's good, bro? Um, yeah, that is definitely a beautiful thing when your husband understands it and says, "Hey, I get it. I understand."
I think somebody
Um,
had put in a chat about making therapy part of self care. I like solely agree with that.
Absolutely.
You need to make that part of your self care routine. It's important to invest in your star player, which is yourself, and that's a great way to invest in yourself.
Yeah,
It's a gift that
absolutely.
keeps giving. It keeps giving. It's a gift that keeps giving for real.
Yeah. Here's another question. Is therapy sometimes used as a weapon in arguments? Because I think we just said about um, self care. I mean, talking about how self care um, can it be used to be weaponized? I think it can. And there it goes. Lumo say it can, and then Gwen say yes. There things that are discussed in therapy we can be weaponized, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. Because you can turn around and take some stuff that was told in a considered a sacred space of saying it, and then go back home and say, well, just like you said in therapy, you was this, and this, and this, and this, and that takes away the safe space aspect of it. So I definitely agree it can be used as a weapon. Um, Especially when somebody's mad. Oh, Keita said it was weaponized when she went to therapy. Free says, of course it is somewhere in someone's household. Absolutely. The same as the word divorce. Look, yeah, we don't even say that word in my house. What? um, can therapy actually make some relationships worse? Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it causes you guys to really the rose colored glasses come off.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all doing the work, the rose colored glasses come off, and that person may not be your person,
That
especially
part.
when the healed version of yourself show up.
Yeah.
That person is completely not your person, and then sometimes we'll try to force it because we've made that commitment
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not, it wasn't your person. The
Yeah.
unhealed person picked that person, and
Yeah.
now the healed version is like looking at this like I didn't know, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, either y'all got to work through it and try to come to some type of consensus um through therapy, but it's going to take substantial and intentional work.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They just don't, and the relationship end up going the in the wrong direction. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it
Like,
absolutely can really really sh- um magnify the marriage or relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Kane said, if you go for the wrong reasons, example, I want you to go to therapy so you can change. And if you go to therapy and somebody just told you, because I want you to change, you know that red flag we was talking about earlier? That's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, I'm not even gonna pose that question because I think we already answered it. If one partner refuses therapy, should the other consider leaving? Big guy, what's up, brother? Welcome in, welcome in. Um,
Is this person? That's a good question. Who question is that? Yours, Marlon?
yeah, I come up with, I have all these other questions. Like,
Okay.
if one partner refuses therapy, should the other one consider leaving?
Only if I'm gonna say only consider leaving if you don't see change behavior. Cause you can articulate what you need, and if that person care enough, you don't necessarily have to go to therapy for change to occur.
Mm,
So if that person don't display change behavior from what you are requesting, and then they're not trying to get no help with the situation, the growth have stopped. It has
mm-hmm,
literally come to a halt at that point. And so
mm-hmm,
at that point, you have to decide. This is just in my mind. At that point, you have to decide, am I going to stay right here or am I going to abort this mission because I want to continue to grow? Because bad company corrupts good morals. So,
mm,
you know,
absolutely.
yeah, that's what that becomes.
Penny, what's good, cousin?
If a ripe fruit is hanging next to a rotten fruit, eventually the ripe fruit is going to get rotten too.
That's
So
right.
you
That's
have to
right.
make some very
About to go
valuable
next level.
choices and decisions and be in tune with your star player through individual therapy to be courageous to be able to make the choice that you need to make in those tough moments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those choices and decisions, man. Choices and decisions. Should men and women approach therapy um, differently? Or should they just approach it in this same way? You know? Um, in my opinion, I think men and women should approach therapy the same way, as in we're going to therapy because we're looking to gather more understanding of us as well as our relationship and how we operate in our relationship. Um, so, okay, so Chocolate brought in a different perspective. She says, yes, I think men should go to a male therapist. I don't want to be. So I hear that. You know what I'm saying? But I would say when with the therapist that I have gone to, it has always been a woman. You know, I in my opinion, I think a woman telling a man certain things as a therapist, um, for me, I was able to receive it better. You know what I'm saying? I think I was able to receive it better. Um, and again, that was my younger years. Now I'm at a point now at this big age that I'm at now that I can have either one. I can have either one. Um,
That is
so
very interesting that you would say that because it pricks my theory, or not my theory, or a theory that I've heard, that men can only receive from men that they see that are alpha than themselves. It's kind of hard for men to receive on certain
Hmm.
levels, as to why you may be able to receive better from a woman than you would, because of the thing you men do amongst men.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, when I first started going to therapy, I felt closer um to a female therapist than a male therapist. You know, but as I began to heal, I began to understand that a therapist is a therapist. And a therapist if a therapist is doing what a therapist is supposed to do, it doesn't matter whether it's a male or a female.
You are my brother, Marlon. You are, that's such a healed statement. I love it, because
Yeah.
that is absolutely right when you get to a level of healing. But back to that thing, it's like a thing that's among men that I don't want to say pecking order, because that don't give it credit, but it's
Hmm.
like a thing that's done among men, that if that man doesn't feel that you can tell him something, then you can't tell him something. So I think
Right.
it's that kind of thing there, to why I think men will be able to receive from a female therapist. I can get that. I can get that. And
Yeah.
then that statement that you said prior to that, that's such a healed statement. I love you, brother.
You love
Absolutely.
you too. Let's see. I done missed about 100 comments down here. Let's see what we got. Uh, Tyler said men need that male camaraderie, health, and camaraderie. Yeah, I mean some men do. You know, Free said, "Why everybody want to be in the comments tonight?" Free, because everybody want to be like you. Everybody want to be like Free. um, who getting cut? Lord have mercy. Nobody getting cut. So Kia says she's preferred a woman therapist over a man. Um, I froze. I didn't freeze. Did I freeze? Um, Kita says she specifically wants a woman of color. Um, I think people of color should have the same therapist. You mean somebody? So Chocolate, are you saying that you think that people of color should have someone of color? Um,
I can agree with that.
yeah, I
Just
would say I would agree with that, but I don't. I don't. Because I've had a therapist that did not look like me, and that therapist was bomb.
I
you
can I
know,
can agree with that too, though. I can
you
agree
know,
with that too. But I think
because
it might be a level of vulnerability amongst your own, in a
mhm,
sense.
yeah,
Might not necessarily be better,
right.
but it will possibly create that level of vulnerability among your own versus not. But that's not discrediting that someone outside your culture can't do the work, and
I'm
that,
telling you,
yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, uh, I think sometimes we get hung up in someone may not understand it because they don't look like me or understand our walk. But sometimes the therapy is not necessarily about what I look like, but it's about what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much, oh, I got to understand how it is from a black. No, sometimes I just need you to tell me to help me understand and decipher things, regardless of what my color is. In my opinion, because I've experienced it on both sides where, and I've watched, within my own family as dealing with a therapist that does not look like it and help them get through some things, you know. Um, yeah, I got you, chocolate. um, a certain level of relatability. I didn't want to offend you, even if you start talking about your privilege. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely, um, I can, again, I speak about myself. When I had a therapist that didn't look like me, my therapist told me, be candid, just say what you're going to say. Don't, they told me, I know you're probably looking at me and I don't look like you and you think that I can't, you know, probably be of value and give you valuable information, but I don't want you to hold back. I want you to be your authentic self. And that was the part that I loved that the therapist told me, be my authentic self. Because if I'm authentically who I am, it doesn't matter for me who I talk to, that I'm being my true self. And they were like, be yourself, say what you're going to say. I'm not going to be offended by anything you say, anything like this, because I'm not paid to get offended by what you say. I'm paid to help you understand what you say. And I said, got it. Check. Um, uh, let's see. Why too paid? Female therapists are harder on, like, yeah, you know, for certain situations, man. I can't. I'm not gonna disagree with anybody's statement, right? I think it's different for everybody. Um, um, everybody's experiences are different. Um, but if you have less empathetic, it's okay to be a woman, very judgmental. I think, you know, um, I think, in my opinion, I think women therapists are probably more judgmental on women, regardless of your color. I think more women are more judgmental, um, in my opinion, of other women. I would agree with that, regardless of whatever color you are. Um,
I agree, and I know you may not be able to speak to it because you are an African American
yeah.
man, but if there is this level of uh I don't want to use the J word, but
hmm
um I'm gonna use the E word then. I'm gonna say there is a level of envy of what we carry as black women, and it's not intentional, it's subconscious and embedded. um Again, those are remnants of slavery in them. um
hmm
so there is a little level of that I can agree to, that's in the chat, that there may be a little bit more discontent for black women than black men when you're dealing with that with the therapists of a different culture.
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a level of comfortability that we have, that we think, and I quote, think that someone that looks like us can understand us. But it can sometimes backfire, because if that one that looks like us, that you think done went through your struggles and you think it's going to be relatable, and they go and say, I grew up in the hills and I grew up with XYZ, I didn't, they might be like, yeah, I don't, I can't relate with you on that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah,
It's definitely, you got to definitely find a fit for you.
yeah.
And don't, and just because you have you don't find the fit, don't mean you don't that you stop searching. I promise you, with diligence, your fit will come,
Oh,
so that
absolutely.
you can get the help that you need. I think we all need that. And again, and just for me, whatever your higher power is, I know everyone is not a believer, but whatever you do believe in, that's your moral compass.
hmm
Seek that until you find what you need in the physical. So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
my
with you.
thing on that. Yeah.
Yeah. As Akita said, not just understand better, but I feel more comfortable. And you know what, Akita, that's you have to do what you're comfortable with. You know, one thing that we all talk about is different things, but at the end of the day, us as individuals, you got to do what's comfortable for you. And if that is comfortable, if it's comfortable, and I'm gonna say this part, if it's comfortable and you are getting what you need from it, keep rolling with it. But if it's comfortable because of the look, but you're not necessarily feeling it, then you might have to, you know, move on to whatever the next. You know what I'm saying? Free says sometimes that's far and few between, but that's when you look for another look for another therapist. There you go. Um, it could be a slight. See, Big Guy said it could be a slight bias form when dealing with us as well. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, let's see. Keita says I don't feel like I have a code switch with my own people. I hear that too. You know, that was, and it's funny you say code switch. You know, that was one of the things when I remember going to that therapist that didn't look like me, reminded me to be authentically who you are. The only way I can help you, I need you to be who you are. Don't switch up. Be who you are. And, you know, I said so much stuff in there, boy. I dropped some work. And they just sat there and just like, okay, I done heard it all, whatever. So, Chocolate says, I don't think anyone can tell me about the community I grew up in unless you've been there. I hear you. 33 says, why switch it at all? Lil Mo says, therapist is not for everyone, so person needs to seek another alternative. Yeah. It's not. Therapy is not for everybody. He just said it's a habit for most people of color. You know, most of us people of color, we do code switch a lot, you know, for certain, you know, situations or circumstances. I just, in my opinion, I think therapy is one of those things where you don't code switch. For me, in my opinion, I think go into it being as just as real as you can be. You know, the only way it's going to help. I think therapy, the only way it's going to help you at the end of the day is you got to be real. You got to be just real, you know? You know, so I don't know. Just,
Therapy don't work if you're not authentic.
yeah,
It
therapy
just,
works if you're authentic.
yeah, you have to be
Um,
authentic.
yeah, I want to be real, but I want to be comfortable. Yeah, so I mean, you know, definitely, Keita. You know, again, you whatever gives you that comfort, love, that's what you go for. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, like Lil Mo said, you got to be at the end of the day laying it all on the table. Yeah, you might get some of these N words, you might get this right here. You gonna get it all from me because I'm just gonna say it, and I'm not saying it just because you know I'm gonna say what I gotta say. So that's just how I talk. So, you know, I think if a therapist gets offended by what you say, then maybe they shouldn't be a therapist because you not in the right business. So, um, therapy is like going to the doctor on the blood work. Can fix the real problems. You got a deep dive. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, yeah, no, yeah, like, definitely. Like Big Guy said, nobody's saying anyone is. You know, everyone is wrong. Nobody is wrong about anything. It's just you got to figure out with your journey when it comes down to therapy. If if it takes 2, 3, 4 different therapists to find the right one, then that's what it is. If you say I need one that is going to be look like me, cool. You know, if it's saying, hey, I don't care what you look like, as long as you can help me understand this, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool.
They have apps that'll help you find somebody.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
all kind of ways. There's really no excuse at this point of life that we live in 2026. If you
Hmm.
want help and healing, it is available for you everywhere, whether it's personal journal work, my book to plug. There's plenty of tools out here that can get you going and get you
Hmm.
started until you can um man up, woman up to reach out to someone, and then
Yeah.
you'll have some tools to take with you when you go in. You're not going in with nothing. You'll be going in with
Absolutely.
something that you've already started with yourself. So at this right good age we live in 2026, and all the apps and things that we have at our fingertips,
Yep.
there's no excuse. And
None.
and you can't change being comfortable. Change don't happen in your comfortable state. It happens when you are uncomfortable. That's what agitates the pearl
Yep.
inside of the oyster. It takes agitation to get to the other side. So that's when all things work towards your good. Even those uncomfortable moments is
Yep.
going to work towards the betterment of yourself. I promise you, do the work.
That's it. Andy, what's up?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Good, good. You
I
came in
am.
at the right time, but right at the point we were just about to end.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You good? You good? I heard you
No.
talking about the therapy. I just wanted to
Yeah.
chime in quickly and drop
No. Go
what
ahead.
I've learned is that when I first started therapy, like I would go in and I would purge and I would sit on that couch and cry, and then I was more intrigued about finding out about different modalities that made me feel better. Right? I think a lot of times I could have been discouraged and been like, I don't want to go back to counseling because this is not working for me. What I found
Hmm.
out, there's so many, before I got these degrees and all this extra stuff, I found out there were so many different forms of therapy, like the young lady above said, that we should look into. So, that's what made me want to do the work. So not only is the therapist the right, whatever the right fit. I've jumped from men, a man, a woman, white, black, whomever. I just feel like for me, and now is the once I got that settled with that person, then I needed to find a person who could do EMDR, who could do brain spotting, who could do all of the intensive therapy that I may have, wanted to try to help, you know, feel better. Meaning like I didn't want to keep ripping the band-aid off a wound and keep feeling the same way. So I kept trying different things. I know people do equestrian therapy. I know people do a lot of different things that may seem art therapy, music therapy.
Hmm.
It may sound silly, but as long as you're healing, I don't care if you spin in a circle therapy. If
Right.
it helps you, do what you need to do. So I thank y'all for letting me up. But I think that part is important too. Therapy is just not sitting on the couch. It's more than that.
Yes, it is. It is. Um, it's about the work you put in. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the work you put in. The willingness to want to get the help is the first step. When it comes down to therapy, especially when it comes down to a couple, um, it, it, it it's about the willingness to want to figure out and to decipher some things. Um, because therapy reminds you that love alone doesn't fix a lot of the emotional wounds. Understanding is what is going to fix it. Understanding that I may I don't understanding that you don't understand is the first part of it. And finding that help from somewhere for someone that can help you understand it, you know what I'm saying, is the first step. Let's see. Oh, Andy left. Let's
Thank you,
see.
Andy,
Tucker
for sharing
says,
that though. That was dope.
yeah,
Thank you for
that was
sharing
dope.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
Andy drops by and she
Yeah, she
does drop
got
some
some
jewels,
gems with
man.
that one. Because
Yeah.
there is forms of therapy other than sitting on the couch, and I'm so glad you
Hmm.
dropped that in here because
Yeah.
people need to know that. Absolutely. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all make sure you guys follow Andy and everything. Um, so Chocolate said I will never be a couple again, but I think couples have to learn communication. Chocolate, don't give up. just because you have some bad apples doesn't mean the whole bunch is gonna all end up being bad at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a big component of love, man. I love to see people in love. I love people, sharing and building and growing together. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just love to see people in that stages. I love to hear everybody's stories. My wife and I will sit here and we'll hear people tell us stories about, their life. Like we'll tell our story and people go, wait a second, y'all know how you tell it for how long? Y'all been what? What? And people hear our story, I think, there's just stories to tell, you know.
Chocolate, don't give up, baby. I know
Mm-mm.
you want to give up. Don't give up, love. Give it a year. Take this year. Do the self work. You say you was
Yep.
working on yourself. Work on yourself,
Hmm.
and let's see what this healing era is gonna produce in the next year or two. That Boaz might be out there. He may be doing the work right now, just as you
Yep.
are, just as we are doing the
Yeah.
work, and be ready in the next year or so for you,
That's
sweetheart.
right.
Don't give up on love because God loves you and you deserve it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And like Big Guy just said, stop looking and let it find you. I'm telling you, this might be your season where this is the part where you got to sit back and guess what? You can retire in Italy, and guess what? Um, that they love us over there. Believe me. And you're gonna go over there and you be in your little village and you be in your little villa and Eduardo is gonna walk by you. So don't give up. Don't give up because this may be the time where you have to stop looking for it or stop, looking for it and let it find you. You know what I'm saying? It'll find you. But one of the biggest things I tell anybody is if you want it to find you, you gotta put yourself in a position to be found. Being found is, what? Let me go and get my therapy done. Let me go and understand some more things about myself so that I will allow myself to be found. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when we have gone through some things and we are fed up and we're tired, we won't let ourselves be found, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna land right there. But
And also, when we have expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment. So don't expect anything. Just observe and decide if that's the love or the person for you. Don't expect anything. When
that's
you
right.
don't expect, you don't be disappointed. You don't set yourself up for
Don't set
disappointment.
yourself for disappointment.
And
That's
I
right.
had to learn that, that is something you have to learn because you are conditioned to have expectations. That's what we've been conditioned to do. So, don't have no expectations. Just let people show up who they are, and then you decide who needs to be in your world, who's worthy and valuable to be in your world, and move like that. And you may see a different side, but please don't give up, honey.
Nah, don't give up. Yeah, and you know what? You can definitely still invest in yourself, but let me tell you something. When that one come along, wherever you may be at in the world, you think you might sit here and gonna be like, I ain't gonna, yeah, that one gonna come along that gonna see that, oh, this is a healed woman. I'm a healed man. I'm not about to waste your time. Come on. He gonna come in and he ain't gonna waste your time. He gonna come in there with standards. He's gonna come in there healed. He's gonna come in there uh 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 he gonna come in there and cook for you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come in there and show you the reason why everything else was just practice. You know what I'm saying? So don't give up. Don't He gonna show you that everything else was a lesson. that you needed to learn so that you could be able to see him. Like I said, Ruth and Boaz, you know, Ruth was ready to just be like, whatever. Boaz was like, nah. Let me trickle down on her a little bit. Let me make sure that she have a little extra, because I want to make sure. I ain't gonna put no pressure, but I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, come on now. Come on. But that's right. Look, Chocolate, you got some folks in here in this commenting on this panel that's cheering you on. You know what I'm saying? You got some folks that are you got some complete damn strangers. Let me put it like that. Let me put it in a real way. You got some complete damn strangers telling you, don't give up. That don't have to say that. They can just be like, whatever, girl, go and do you. You know what I'm saying? You got some people here that don't even know you from Adam that's telling you and giving you the most encouragement. You know what I'm saying? That's showing you love. So just be ready for it. You get ready to get knocked off your feet. But anywho, that's the end of this one, man. I think Big Guy want to come up and say something. What up?
Man, I'm sick as a dog, but I had to come up here.
God, you know what? You are the fourth person tonight.
Sorry.
Peachy not feeling good. Keita not feeling good. I think Free said she wasn't feeling good, and now your ass.
No, man. But I just want to say this to Gwen. I gotta say this to Gwen. You're black, you're beautiful, you're intelligent. You do not look your age, shawty. Stop looking. There's no need to look. You ain't gotta look. Ain't no woman in this room gotta look. You gonna be found. Every woman in this room is as beautiful as they are. There's no other finer women on this place. Y'all just gotta relax.
Yep.
Stop worrying about what's happening and get into what is.
Mm-hmm.
It's life. It's life. Now we say we want the truth. Here's the daggone truth coming from two men. Just be found. You ain't gotta look. If you ain't found, you already know you strong enough to be in yourself. So be with yourself. Marlon hit it right on the head. You mess around and be in Italy somewhere, and they do like us, both men and women. Trust me.
I'm telling you.
Trust me.
I've been there. Stationed there. Been there.
I don't understand it. Y'all don't have to feel that way. And I'm not saying that you should not. I'm not trying to take that away from any of you all, especially you, Gwen. I'm not trying to take that from you. But you can't drop your head because somebody had a poor choice of how a relationship should roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your fault. You didn't do that. You didn't cause that. Or you may want to ask yourself, did I? Did I say something? Did I do something? And then once you evaluate yourself, sit back, relax, and let things happen. Simple as that. Quick. Forgive me.
What you got? No, you good, bro. You good.
I just had to say that.
Nah.
Oh, I just came up here. Hey, everybody. I just came up here to say I'm not sick. Okay.
Oh, okay. Because I know you had said
I am
earlier,
not. I
like,
said I have no complaints. That's what I said when I came in the room. So I am not sick. I'm sorry for those who are not feeling well. I pray that you get better, you
Yes.
know, and take some of Marlon's advice or whatever when you know, knocking that cold or whatever you got out. You know what I'm saying? But wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Wow, I'm in Florida. I'm sick.
Oh, well, don't come over here. Don't come over here. That's all I'm saying. You in Florida, but don't come over here with all that. Okay? I hook you up. I hook you up in the ED. I hook you up in the ED. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that they take care of you. You know what I'm
There it
saying?
is. Go
You
get
know
you
what I'm
some.
saying?
Get you some. Go get some of that. Something in that. Some fluid. Get you some fluid. Get you. I'm gonna tell you like I told Peachy. Get you. Go and just make you a hot toddy, man. Knock it right on in.
There you go.
I'm in a
I
truck.
also
I'm
wanted
in
to
a
say
truck,
this,
dog.
that I didn't get that from Gwen. I think that, when people are tired of a situation happening, that's it. They done. So she wants to focus on herself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but to tell somebody not to what you say, not to look for it, not to look for it. I think she's saying that she's not looking for it. She's focusing on herself. And I think that's beautiful, to do so, and to live life abundantly. Go out there and enjoy yourself, girl. And then, you know what else? Invite me and Keita, because we want to come. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
They
Love
trying to be
you.
outside.
No, definitely invite the girls, but that's what I took from it. That's what I got. That's why I said what I said. I didn't receive it that way. I felt like she was beating herself up, and I didn't appreciate that for her, because it was nothing was on her. Nothing about that whole situation. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gwen, please.
Correct both of us if we wrong, because I don't feel like you beating up on yourself. I hope you're not. But another thing too, like, all women, we not feeling like that all up in this space. I know I'm not. I'm good. You feel me? I am so good.
And Kenya said,
I'm
"Don't
so
leave
good.
her. Y'all left Kenya out."
Oh, look at Kenya want to come too.
He's like, "Don't leave me out too."
I am Kid P. You want to come too? Look, we all need to
Hey.
just go ahead and just make it a thing.
I'm absolutely down to
See what
go.
I'm
I'm
saying?
all for like doing us, like for real, and not looking.
Well, I don't want to be left out. I want to go too.
First of all, Sicky.
Ain't nobody ask you nothing. Ain't nobody ask you not one goddamn
First
thing.
of
Hey,
all,
I
Sicky.
am telling y'all that baking soda bath is gonna change your life.
I
Just
wonder
do
if
it.
you're not sick, if you do it, will you feel extra good?
Yes, you will.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
you
do it.
will.
I'm gonna do it,
But
sis.
it's supposed like it. I don't know.
Oh my
I thought.
gosh, that's
Look,
messed up.
I had COVID and flu at the same time, y'all. Sick under the bed. Like I'm telling you, he sent that via text and was like, "Do this," and it was so simple, y'all. Amazing, amazing. The next day, go to sleep, wake up. You gon' it's a total body reset. And it's so
Mm.
it's yeah, it's a total body reset. Like I live by it today. I promise you. I tell everybody that got a cold, try it before you put something in your body. Far as that go, it's just literally draining out all of the whatever the cold shit is, stuff. Sorry, it's just draining it out. But it worked. Like COVID and flu, y'all, it worked. Whatever you
So
got,
just
it's gonna
baking
take it.
soda. You
Baking
soak.
soda and water, hot bath. That's it. I put a little, I girled it up a little bit, but baking soda,
Well,
just
wait a
baking
minute
soda
now,
alone.
because if it
Baking
works,
soda.
what you
Baking
girl it
soda.
up with?
Oh,
What you girl it
Like
up with?
I just put a little, little fragrance oil in there,
Which one? Which one?
What
hey, good
I can't
evening,
even tell you
Debbie.
what I used. It wasn't even a lot. I didn't start off with
Man,
it
you should have
though.
kept that to your daggone self. Going to talk about some what you done added to it and done
Not just a
healed up.
little, but I'm telling you, that's not the remedy. Is the baking soda you got to use if you're
You
gonna
don't
Whip
if
it,
know
whip
that.
it, whip it.
You added extra.
I didn't. Not at first. Not at first.
I don't
I
believe you
sold
now.
for like 10 minutes, put that in there. Look, I'm telling you, the baking soda and the water. You just gotta put if you're gonna use one box, the small box, the whole box. If you get a big box, a half of a big box and soak.
How
Y'all
long you soaking it for?
about 20 minutes.
What's up,
Okay.
lady?
Yeah. I like to take longer baths, but 20 minutes is what he suggested. So yeah. And it worked. I promise y'all it worked. I was around here like couldn't believe it that they did that for real. So
Yeah. Baking soda.
What's that about? Oh my God.
You know what, Free to Be? That's messed up too.
You ain't never heard that
You wouldn't
song?
do that. That's
Excuse
all right.
me?
I got baking soda.
What
You
did
That's
you
know
messed
Baking
up.
soda.
Big Guy, what are you talking about?
Nothing now, because I know where I'm not welcome, ma'am.
Oh, well, you know what? Hey, listen, if you gonna run like the Dickens, you better just get out of here with all that. Hurry up. Go.
Mm.
Get out of here. If
I'm
that's
ready
how
to
you
see the
feel though,
look
for
on your
real.
face.
No, let's see your face. Ticky. Hey.
Whip it to the class. You talking about baking
What is
soda.
happening?
Hey man, look, this is the end of it. But I'm gonna let y'all two calm down. Cut that out.
She
Hey, you
started
know,
it, Marlon.
free a G dog. Free like what? Say what? Say who?
Say less.
Oh, keep your microphone on. Nobody talking to you.
All right. Well, look, guys, it's been a great night tonight. This has been a good topic. I think it's one of those ones again that we kind of got to circumvent and get back to it again and talk about some things and just give ourselves little reminders. You know what I'm saying? Um, but tomorrow, this is gonna be interesting tomorrow. I kind of picked this one up from watching some stuff that was happening in the news with your boy. Um, so tomorrow, tune in for when should you talk about a prenup in a relationship?
At the beginning. I'm just playing.
I'm with you, Frida, at the beginning. At the
Hey,
beginning. That's what they suggest.
hey, Charlie, tell you, but we're gonna talk about it tomorrow because I was looking at I got that from looking at whoever a Cowboy fan. That's what Dak went through. He's supposed to be getting married in Italy in a month, and they called it off.
Don't keep talking about it because now I want to talk about it. Don't do
We
that.
gone.
No, we
All
not.
right,
We
y'all.
still here. We still here.
We about to go. I'm about to go.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Oh Lord, the comments. Kia, appreciate you as always. Glad to see you again. I know it's been a minute. Y'all know, y'all if y'all haven't, y'all go check out Kia book. Write down your thoughts. I get my little write on. Just want to let y'all know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all go cop the book. It's on it's on my page. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's gonna help you get started. Hard copy is available now. Thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you for the hearts, the flowers, all that. And just iron sharpening iron. Thank you, brother. I
Yeah,
appreciate you,
for sure.
Marlon.
For sure.
Big guy, always free to be you, always dropping gems. Good that
Always.
you came on in here. And yeah, just love
Always.
to be on the panel, sharing knowledge with y'all.
No doubt, no
Absolutely.
doubt. All right,
Congratulations on the
Kia.
book, love.
I'm gonna drop you down, Kia. Free, big guy. As always, man. I appreciate y'all as always, man. Definitely big guy. Get better. You know what I'm saying? Go get your hot toddy. Or do like Kia said, go get in that baking soda. You know what I'm saying? Get better.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ain't got the.
If you come around here, I got something for you.
What that's supposed to mean? I'm like, how am I supposed to
I'm
take it?
trying to help you feel better now. If you don't
Hey,
want it, then hey,
cam up,
listen,
man.
listen.
Cam up. Cam
Cam
up.
up for what?
Cam up. Cam up.
Absolutely not. You know that's not how we
Turn your
move.
camera on.
Oh, because you turned yours on now I gotta
Yeah,
follow
let me.
you?
Because I need to see how you saying that. Let me see your
Because
face.
how I'm saying it is just how I'm saying it. You hear what I'm saying, don't you? Oh,
No, I
okay.
don't.
Oh, you don't hear me?
Nah.
Okay, well, you just gonna be sick over there, sickie.
Marlon.
That's okay. Let me go, Marlon. Put me down. Put me down. I don't care.
Hey, I just like to watch a little banter between y'all two. It's cute. It's cute or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Man. I appreciate
Well, look,
all
guys,
that.
I'm about to go over here and eat this hamburger steak I cooked.
Man, that's messed up,
I
Marlon.
know I'm about to go eat this food, bro.
Sound like he about to tear it up. Look,
I'm about
I'm
to
about to
go
eat
ahead.
this food.
Boy, I'm about to be I'm
Big guy over there can't even eat nothing. Poor
edible.
thing.
So, but look,
I'm getting ready to try to
y'all
eat something. I don't know what I'm gonna eat, but I'm gonna try to
enjoy
eat
your
something.
night.
All right,
Come in
man.
tomorrow.
Peace out.
When should you talk about a prenup in a relationship is the topic tomorrow. So, y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace, love, and light, y'all.
Pshoo. Pshoo. Good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.